Welcome to the fifth episode. In this fifth episode, I'm going to do a quick run through of what are the actual changes. The game has advanced a lot with a lot of features and a lot of bugs. It comes with it, especially, you know, developing it on my own. But more importantly, if anybody would be interested to help with the UI or etc., that would be more than thankful. Otherwise, within the next month or two, I should be pushing the UI. For now, the focus is primarily making the features, making the balance, and more importantly, as you could see, making something amazing. Hope you like what you see in the advancement, but now the game has become something more serious. And this is a thing of passion, and I really love of how it came along, and I hope you guys like it too. So let me go and start a new game. In this new game, what I want to importantly focus here is, as much as this is myth inspired and it has very subtle similarities to myth, overall you'll see the huge changes and advancements that I have done to the game, or the board game as one would say, but this is more of a video game than a board game. And and what are the main line of changes? Okay, aside from adding new classes, I also focus primarily, you know, in the way things advance, in the way treasure are provided, and you know what? I think seeing the futures and understanding better the games will explain itself. I think in the past you've seen in the four videos the five classes. I will be adding the ranger and the bard as the final class selections. You only get to play with four character classes. As you are able for each class, select male or female, and more importantly, you can randomly select the name or you can randomly type your name, and you can earn titles in the game, and more importantly, you have stats, and you later on see what effect the stats have. But for now, there is no. I mean, I didn't push that heavily in the defining character or design of the game. Hopefully, I'm not being confusing here. But what I mean by that is, there's the base level. It's like in Myth, there's the base class, die roll and Destiny dice, and in Myth, it's the Fate dice. And also based on the equipment, you pretty much gain, or etc. Vitality, or be it more importantly also other stats. Like in this case, you get two destiny dices with this item. When you roll, and plus, if you roll two divinities, you get plus one hope, and this one gives you one die 10 to your attack on top of the base. So that means he will be rolling the saint. They will be rolling basically two die tens on his attacks, unless there's modifiers from the cards. And there's going to be leveling up in the stats. This is things I've explained before. So let's build our group here quickly. And here, so Aldrich, and you know what? I'll take a Saint Albert. And let's have a thief in our group. Archibald, okay. And a mage. We'll leave the barbarian out. Gerald, okay. So this is our group. So there wasn't major changes there, other than now the new card designs, which primarily are much more beautiful and more appealing and easier to read in what there is. So the cards, there are new additions. There have been new additions in the shop, a redesigning of how the items look. Like, this is much nicer, and the amount it heals at the cost. It's very straightforward. Reduce threat by 2. That should be familiar to you from Myth. I think Myth is 3, but whatever. Remove poison, curse, weaken, bleed. So I didn't think of creating, it makes sense to create 30 potions for 30 statuses. You buy this, you kind of remove. Now, you might say that that's kind of cheap for, it's kind of OP, for 2 gold, you can remove all this, statuses, but to be honest, to earn gold is very hard, and also not intentionally hard, but just to balance things out because gold you also primarily use to upgrade also your gear. So if that is the case, earning gold is you have to be strategic on how you spend it in this game. So you just don't spend it just because you have it. I hope that makes sense in what I'm trying to say here, the way the game is designed. That explains that. I want to, you pretty much know already this. This will hold where the quests are, and there's the patrons, etc. There is the familiar patrons. Right now, all of the tier 1 quests are there, and these are the patrons that pretty much provided. Okay, let's go to this page, which is, you know what? Before I do, let's quickly go and buy, potions. I want to buy potions. And oh, sorry, I don't have gold anymore. And to show you, this one is also elemental potion, removes burn, shocked, iced, and winded. So again, there's no potion, per se, for each possible status. It just doesn't make sense to me. You have a powerful potion, and you use it, and it pretty much removes whatever effect that you may have. So getting back to here, let's go back to like I pretty much put everything in one unison page, and I'll show you what each one does, but one thing at a time. This should look familiar. We're equipping the potions, and I like the new designs. It's much cleaner, much better to look. Unlike the one, no, I don't want to give it to the knight. I'll give it to him. Okay, so now as you can see, my inventory is empty. The anvil is still the same thing where you pretty much try to level up, but you don't have enough gold. Why? I'm not surprised. Okay, and we'll get back to this later. So this is the new kind of unique page that you didn't see before, and it's very, very important. It kind of tells you your current class, your name, your level, your card experience. So this is how much experience you have accumulated up to now, so that you can use to upgrade your cards. Because pretty much upgrading your cards is right here. Use pretty much it says use card XP to upgrade your cards. You can get card XP from completing quests. That's the only way experience you can obtain from. Okay, you can edit your deck because later on you're going to get new cards like Novice or Adventure, etc., legendary cards or whatever, and other types. So the thing is, you're going to have to edit your deck before going to battle and to save to pretty much set the deck that you want to go into battle. You're limited always to hand size of 25. There is unique cards that might change the count of the deck size. All right. So aside from that, you're always limited to 25 in your hand size deck. This shows your vitality, your courage, should be familiar, and it shows you your current D10 roll with all the gear that you have, and it's 3. So you always have the base, so you pretty much know the equipment give you 2, and the destiny dice also here. Your base is 1, so some equipment give you 1, and your movement base, like, should be familiar from myth, that is 2. Okay, so this is pretty much advanced classes. Now it says here Knight, Paladin, Warlock. I'm just giving an example here. At level 10 you can choose to evolve to a card. Again, it's not going to be necessarily a Knight. I don't think is going to become a Paladin or a Warlord. It's going to be something else, but per se it's just an example. I'm just showing you now. Solely information is detailed, and it informs you of what possibilities. So what's the reasoning behind leveling up? Moving right along, so right here you have a bag, and from your bag you can pretty much equip or unequip. So here you equip the potion, you can unequip it and pretty much equip right here. And let's go and equip them with the potion. Let's do this. And now this is very, very important. And you can also see the equipment they're equipped with, and you can unequip that, and re-equip, whatever. And it shows you exactly what they're equipped with, which I like. And this is a very neat kind of layout here. Now this is very, very important. You earn trophies by completing quests. Okay, this is very, very important, so I'm going to try to explain it. There's going to be a help section on the release of this game. Alright, so it's not like, oh, I'm going to have to verbally mention it, but there's going to be something actually of a tutorial or a help section that will explain this more in depth. But getting to the point, you level up by completing encounters. Okay, so currently, to level up to level 2 from level 1, you need to complete 8 quests. Okay, so it says right there. Now, it's very important. 8 normal quests or 4 hard quests. Each hard quest equates to 2. Later on, this will be defined in a better way, but right now, for all I want you to know, and you'll see that because of the trophies you earn. So you have 8 trophies to earn, and you'll see when you pretty much do a hard quest, you earn 2 trophies instead of 1. Okay, so moving right along, now that we did that, and we know the save, you could save. And what else? Now, I told you that there's other unique quests, and now the quests are actually repeatable also. So the quests are actually repeatable, but you can't consecutively repeat it. So that means now in this new features or advancements of the product is once you complete, let's say, the rat quests, that he pretty much, here,
leave it to me.
I'm going to do normal. You see, this is 1 trophy or 2. You can obtain much more. Obviously much more for doing hard, but the point is you can earn 2, so you'll be doing 2 out of 8, so you will level up much quicker by doing hard quests. Doing normal quests, you'll level up slower and earn less, but you can be more safe, I guess you could say. But there's no harm done, because you can always you lose a character, you don't lose it permanently. You just doesn't get some of the benefits that from finishing a quest live. And also you could always surrender and restart the quest if you feel that it's not going your way. So this is something very, very important to take note of. Okay, it always tells you, see, it's tier 1 quest. Okay, once you complete all tier 1 quests, you will go into tier 2, will be unlocked. You can always repeat tier 1 quests, but you will not level up anymore, if that makes sense. All right, you will need to do tier 2 quests to start leveling up further. All right, but tier 1 will allow you to, if you want to gain gold quickly or certain items, etc., or stash up on certain things, okay, or make gold by earning certain items, etc. Now, very, very important, when you sell items, it's always half the price. Okay, so if something was 2 gold, when you sell it back, it's 1 gold. Okay, so that's something very, very important. So that pretty much explains that. So quests are repeatable again, but you cannot consecutively repeat the same quest. You will have to go do another quest and come back to do that quest again. All right, so I hope that explains. So there's a lot of advancement and a lot of features. For now, I've used the board to pretty much let you know on what your progress is in tier 1. Okay, so right here you can see you only did the first quest of many, and your progress on it is pretty much 0 because you didn't complete it. Okay, so this is something very, very, very important. All right, in a sense of, let's go into the battle. You are familiar with the animations. I don't need to show you. All battles will have pre-animations to make it cool. Now, I don't know in the last video if I did explain it, but there's been changes here, and these changes I want to uniquely show that now it's much better. It's easier to know what kind of trap it is, explosive trap and the countdown. I just love it. It's more beautiful to look at. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I don't think it was done in the 4th video, but maybe so. But this is much more better to look at, and when you highlight it, it's more clean. It kind of explains you, like this status effect ices you for 5 rounds. Ouch, that really hurts. And this one burns you for 5 rounds. So again, this is something very, very, very important. And if you properly disarm it, you gain 1 XP. Okay, So this is something to be wary of. As you can see, you start with 0 XP, and as you gain XP, then you will be able to pretty much upgrade your cards. That's the only way you could upgrade these cards. As you can see, I don't know if you can see here, you can see better here. If two XP right here. I don't know how well you can see in the video, but pretty much you can upgrade this, and you can only singular upgrade. So that means once you upgrade it, you've reached the max. Okay, and to upgrade basic cards is 2 XP. So again, it's very strategic, and you don't you have to pretty much not be wasteful and know what is your end game, so that which you level up, or you can pretty much farm and level them all up within time. And for novice cards also, which are in leveling, you acquire them by leveling up, to be honest. You pretty much you need to spend 3 XP. So just letting you know the mechanics of the game. Everything else you've pretty much saw and seen, in the past, but it just works better in the mechanics. Now there's no like it's more cleaner in a sense. Like here for the knight, the highlighting doesn't work. There's gonna be bugs anyways. But the only real, Destiny dice capability is the -1 threat. So hence why you see only one ability here. And you can see the highlight of the characters when you put this hovering. And you see the potion right here. It tells you heal 2 vitality. And you see his fury right here. This is something very, very nice. So let's, other than that, those are the major advancements, which is huge. But again, also all monster abilities work. So what I mean by here, so let's see if I can make him rush in. And I'm going to make the enemies attack just so you can see the monsters now have their, okay, here, you know what, I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to bring you right out here. And so you're going to be right in face of the enemy and monsters. I'm going to skip, and let's do this. So now you're going to get a better idea of what the monsters can do. So just pay attention right here. This is a singular monster. This is a secondary monster that came to attack. And now the monster abilities pretty much take effect, which is kind of neat. So here's a third one that came, and you see -2 target number. It's going to be easier to hit. Instead of the target 7, it's now target 5. So the swarm is happening. So pretty much the monsters, once they surround you, the rats particularly, well, you're in trouble. Okay, so now all the monster abilities, well, kind of work. So it could be very devastating for you, if you follow what I'm saying. And for the traps, it's devastating itself. So let's click this, and hopefully I can disarm it, or you're going to see what happens. Oh, I disarmed it. Okay, that kind of disheartening. I was hoping I didn't. But let's end this round, per se. And here, we're going to skip this turn. I just want to show you what happens if I happen to fail. And hopefully I fail in disarming this, because if I succeed, which seems again I succeeded. Okay, well, it didn't happen. Well, I just wanted to show you the statuses now also work, and the status effects, okay? And here, I'm going to surrender. Yes, I'm going to go back to the tavern, and I can still do the quest again. You see the options there, no harm done. But I didn't gain anything out of this, that's for sure. As you can see, I didn't complete anything, I didn't earn any XP, I didn't do anything. So in that sense, that works perfectly. And I still don't have any, gold, so I can't buy anything. So let's go back in, and I just hope there's more traps, and I just want to show you what, kind of takes effect here. So hopefully I can rush in and show you that. Okay, he's useless. He cannot do that. And okay, quickening, but I don't think he can run that deep into it. Okay, so let's see if he could. I just want to show you a status effect. That's the point of what I'm trying to do right now. and he can't do anything that's meaningful. Okay, the monster's obviously gonna come. They're gonna surround me, and I'm not gonna be able to reach the trap. 3. Okay, you missed, buddy. So please do share in your comments, or those that viewed it, because I could see that a lot of amazing people viewed it. Share me your thoughts, your criticism, or your wishes, and let me get around it, and I'll be happy to respond. But I hope you like what you see, and it's been advancing in a very rapid way and in a good way, because now we're getting to the point where the leveling system is coming to effect, the novices cards, and also tier 2. I pretty much at the end of tier 2 and the balancing after tier 2, before we implement tier 3, is when I'm pretty much gonna plan to launch it on Steam or something like that. Reasoning is, well, then I can get a real honest public opinion, and non-biased, from my perspective. Not that I could be wrong, because I've played Myth and many other board games, and I pretty much love the direction that I've gone with this game. But I would love to hear the public's view on it. And this is a passion project, but you know what? I love the way it's coming along, and I hope you guys like it too. So let's see if I could get. It's going to be very hard per se to get to that trap. But I'm going to try. Oh, really? Now you're really surrounding me. Okay, so let's see what I could do. Well, it's gonna. Okay. Oh, really? We're waiting. See, that one rolls a 5 because that one is part of this swarming. Oh boy. Yeah, that one is part of the swarm too, surrounding the mage. Okay. Now let's see. The potion works on him. You could use it. You could use it on anybody adjacent. As you can see, it worked. So let's see if I could. I could do this to avoid it. Yes, I could, and I could show you how the trap works. So let's use it. Hopefully, I could dash and I successfully kill and damage this monster. Oh yes, I do. And I'm gonna come right here intentionally, and I'll try this one. Fail, and you succeed. You're killing me here. Okay, let's try this one. And now I got no movements anymore. Let's hope. Oh, I failed. There you go. So I'm pretty much shocked right now. So shocked character starts next round with 2 less cards. Oh boy, loses 2 random cards. Okay, that's not fun. So there you go, and you got the status right here. And you know, right now it's not the most perfect UI, but you can see it only lasts for round 1. Thank God for that. All right, and anybody that was caught in this trap would have been also pretty much affected by it. Okay, and you can see the status is still there. Now let's see if it bugs out or not. We're gonna get to it, and we're gonna start a new round. Okay, so he's shocked. So as you can see, the game has currently froze and, well, bugged out. Things to fix up. But as you could see, this is the current. So welcome back after that bug, tragic bug. Wow, pretty much, I pretty much know I had to reset, and bugs will happen. But primarily, it's good that we found it live, and something to fix on and work on. Okay, what I wanted to show you is here is I loaded characters that are pretty much level 2, and now look. I wanted to show you this. This is now, you require 16 to level up from level 2 to 3. Now again, it could differ from each tier. You might find it that like suddenly like to level from 3 to 4 might take you again 8, or might take you 10, or might take you 6. You know what I mean? But again, the type of quests that you encounters you're gonna have to do are much tougher and everything like that. One thing that I want to mention to you, which is not shown here yet and it hasn't been fully implemented yet, is that the tier 2 encounters are double dungeoned. So what that means, it's like in Myth, the chain quest. So meaning you go from one encounter to the next. So there's no rest per se. There's no rest, so whatever damage or status that you have in the first dungeon, you'll have it in the second, or whatever, the first encounter, you'll have it in the second encounter. They're chain quests or chain encounters, like a story kind of oriented, that you have objective to finish, before you can complete the encounter. Okay, so it becomes more complicated. And the way I look at it, tier 3 will have 3 chain, and tier 4 you can pretty much figure out how it rolls moving forward. It's going to be more wild and more story oriented, and things will be more evolving as they progress. I hope you really like it, the direction, and if there's any thoughts or comments, I would really, really love to hear it. And as you could see, I've gained pretty much 8 XP here, which is something very, very nice. It is a barbarian, by the way. It says right here, sorry, oops. And you could see that pretty much it rolls 4 dice. Everything is pretty much here. And, well, for the barbarian, he doesn't have much here other than this, but this brutal as it is. And if you try to upgrade it, like you have 12 gold right here, it will tell you something very important. It will say that you need to complete tier 1 quests. I mean, all the quests of tier 1 before you can upgrade this card. Okay, which is very, very important. This will become green after when you upgrade it, and obviously more, powerful stature, etc. All right, this is the current items that you have in your inventory. All right, unequipped, etc. Hope you like what you've seen. Have a beautiful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, and hope you share your thoughts as I look forward to sharing, video 6 in the near future, as I work hard on the next evolution of the product. And at some point, I'm going to primarily just focus on the 7th video or 8th, just on core bugs, and just to focus to put things together before adding the 2 final classes, which is beautiful. Right now, the novices are done, novice cards for all the classes, and more importantly, there is something after novice. There's the adventure cards, etc. Don't forget, like in Myth, there used to be agents, and in this one, they're going to be leaders, and these leaders do have drops, etc., be it gear or the unique cards that they carry. Okay, so this is all amazing. It's evolving, and I can't wait to share it as I look forward to it. And more important, I hope you like it as much as I do, and eager to get your hands on it. Thank you again, and have a good weekend.